Banks have incredible features and most people don't even know some of them exist, so I'm going to run you through absolutely everything a bank can do in old school RuneScape. At the top left, you can see the amount of items currently in your bank, and the number of items you can have in your bank. The total number of items can be increased by 20 just for having a bank pin, obtainable by speaking to any banker in the game. You can also increase it by 20 for having an authenticator set up and linking your account to a Jagex account, both available via the RuneScape website. One of the main questions floating around new player spaces is, how do I use this paper? Referring to banknotes. Well, to note items, simply click the Withdraw as Note button at the bottom of the bank interface. Then withdraw an item. Not all items can be noted, such as untradables, and stackable items are also excluded. To change the item back into a regular item, deposit the note into your bank account. Then select Withdraw as Item at the bottom of the bank interface, and then just get the item back out and it'll be a regular item. Does this look familiar, withdrawing items one at a time? Well, instead of doing this, you can actually withdraw any number of items you like in a single click. To do this, you can either adjust the quantity at the bottom and then click an item, or right-click any item and then withdraw the amount you want. To withdraw any quantity, you can click the Withdraw X button and then type in the amount you want to withdraw and press Enter. This will put that many items into your inventory. This is really useful when doing skilling activities such as Herblore, where you can set withdraw and deposit to 14 and withdraw the perfect amount of ingredients. Most people's banks look like this, just a clutter of items. So let's go over the bank's organization features. First, you can create bank tabs at the top of the bank by dragging any item onto the plus. This will create a new tab where you can separate any kind of items you want. Once it's set up, you can just drag any number of items that you want into the tab to add them to it. You also might be familiar with dragging an item onto another item to swap their positions. But if you change the Rearrange mode at the bottom to Insert and then do it again, it actually moves the item to the left, which is really useful when trying to organize a bank account. If you want to be really organized, you can also use bank fillers. Click the little spanner at the top right, and at the bottom, you can specify the amount of bank fillers you want to add. Then click Fill. This will add them to the current bank tab. This can be really useful to separate gear into separate areas of a single bank tab. So if you want to just separate a range setup and a magic setup, for example, you just drag one to the left and one to the right. Finally, we have placeholders. If you withdraw all of an item's stack, it actually leaves an empty slot in the bank. And if you close the bank and reopen it, all of the items have moved. But if you click this little lock icon at the bottom of the bank and then click an item, it actually leaves a placeholder behind, meaning if you close the bank and open it again, everything is still in the same position. And if you put it back in the bank, it goes to the slot where the placeholder is. There are a few other pieces of useful functionality within the bank, so we'll start with the search tool. Click the magnifying glass at the bottom of the bank interface and then type what you want to search. For example, if you want all of your grimy herbs, simply type the word grimy, and then they'll all appear. From there, they can be swapped, they can be inserted, and they can be dragged into other bank tabs or withdrawn. You can also view your worn equipment directly from the bank by clicking the little man icon in the top left. This allows you to see your gear's stats and set effects directly from the bank. From the bank, you can even equip items by withdrawing them to the inventory, right-clicking them, and then clicking Wield. If you reopen the Worn Inventory tab, the item is there and equipped. Then, from this interface, you have two options. You can either remove it, which brings it to your inventory, or you can right-click and click Bank and it'll send it to your bank. It's worth noting here that you can get other unique options for various items within the game while in the bank interface. If you have food in your inventory, you can right-click it and eat it while still in the bank. If you have a potion, you can right-click it and click Drink. And some other items do some obscure things, such as filling rune pouches. Keep an eye out for these options. There are also two icons at the bottom right that can be both incredibly useful and really annoying. The little backpack deposits all the items in your inventory, and the little man with the arrow deposits all of the items that your character is wearing. People get frustrated when clicking this one accidentally as it banks all of their current gear. So did you know that you can disable both of these buttons? Just click the spanner at the top right and press the deposit inventory button and the deposit worn items button. This makes the icons disappear so you won't misclick it, and you can just simply re-enable it when required. The final feature is one a lot of players don't know about because it's fairly new and it's also the most useful. The bank offers the ability to lock your inventory slots by clicking the spanner at the top right and clicking Deposit Lock Settings. On this screen, you can select any inventory slot to lock. This is incredibly useful for skilling activities because if I lock this knife and then do a little bit of flexion, I can simply reopen the bank interface, and this red border signifies this knife is locked. So if I press the deposit inventory button, the knife actually stays in my inventory, so I can simply get some more logs out and carry on. You can lock as many inventory slots as possible, and then all you need to do is click it again so the border is no longer red, and then you'll be able to deposit the item again. Oh yeah, the incinerator also exists. If you turn it on and then go to your bank, you can see this incinerator over here. This lets you delete any item from your bank permanently. Wait, no, stop!